organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Here's what's coming up tonight on Daily Iowan TV.
One man's trash is another man's treasure. We'll show you all you can do with those old parts next.
And renewing renovations. Find out how an old cluster of buildings could soon become a piece of history.
And in sports, Iowa soccer falls to Wisconsin in the Big Ten Championship.
All that and more coming up next.
You're watching Daily Iowan TV.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Tanner Sigworth.
And I'm Mary Caldwell.
We begin tonight with news on Tong Xiao, the 20-year-old Iowa State student who went missing back in September. The Iowa City Police Department, as well as the Johnson County Attorney's Office, confirmed today that a final autopsy report has been received. The documents were obtained on October 31st. Mike Hench from the County Medical Examiner's Office said it is against the law for officials to release any information inside the report. Tong Xiao's body was discovered on September 26th in the trunk of a Toyota Camry. A final death certificate still needs to be completed. Hench said Iowa City Police have notified Xiao's family.
One Iowan has been quarantined after returning from a trip to either Sierra Leone, Liberia, or Guinea. 13 Iowan travelers traveled to this region within the last 21 days, but 12 of them have been deemed low risk of being exposed to the virus by the Iowa Department of Public Health. The quarantined traveler is considered to be at moderate risk. State law prohibits the Department of Public Health from releasing any information that could identify the travelers, including their specific location. So far, none of the travelers have displayed Ebola symptoms.
The University of Iowa is celebrating a very special birthday this week. Courier Residence Hall is turning 100 this year. Courier opened its doors in the year 1914, and it was the first residence hall on the U of I campus. It was originally built for women students due to the increasing number being accepted into the university. It cost over $150,000 to make at the time.
We were asked as a committee to put together a series of events, some of them student-centered, some of them more open to the general public, but all of them to celebrate the anniversary.
To celebrate this occasion, events will be held all week in the residence hall.
In the fields of Iowa, farms aren't rare to come by, but how about an asylum? Just off of Melrose, the Iowa Poor Farms and Asylum have sat for the past 160 years and could soon be getting a facelift. The Johnson County supervisors are considering renovating the Poor Farm and Asylum, bringing it back to its original form. 5 buildings sit on the property, one of them including the Asylum Wing. The historical significance of the Asylum Wing gives a view into how far we have come in modern welfare. Its original form was on this site housed those who were poor or deemed mentally unstable. The goal for the Johnson County officials is to restore the existing buildings that would allow for better community farming. The Johnson County Poor Farm is open for tours Tuesday through Friday by appointment only. For more information, head to jchsiowa.org.
Mary, today was so nice out, but I know I've been hearing cold weather is yet to come.
I know. I heard there's actually snow in the forecast, and I'm a little concerned because I still haven't gotten my snow coat.
I don't think a lot of us have. Let's turn it over to Katie Sextro in the weather studio to give us the latest. Katie?
Don't get used to the warm weather we saw today because it's about to get pretty cold the next few days. Winter is officially on its way. You don't want to leave without your coat tomorrow. In the morning, it'll be about 20 degrees cooler than this morning was. We'll see temps of about 32, warming up to only 37 during the day. It'll be partly cloudy the majority of the day, and in the evening, it will cool down to around 31. As we look towards the rest of the week, the last 3 weekdays look about the same with low 30s during the day, with temps dropping into the teens in the evenings. Luckily, we shouldn't have any rain, just cloudy skies and possibly more sun on Friday. Saturday will be slightly warmer with temps in the mid-30s, mostly cloudy skies and low 20s at night. On Sunday, temps will be around 30, dropping to the high teens in the evening with partly cloudy skies. There's a look at your forecast for the week. Tanner and Mary, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Katie. Recycling, education, innovation, and environmental protection. Daily Iowan TV's Suen Wang went to check out the place where it brings all of these things together. Take a look.
Here's the SSI Recycling Center, a place to recycle and learn. And welcome to the Salvage Barn. The Salvage Barn was started in 1993 by Friends of Historic Preservation, which is an Iowa City nonprofit organization. It dedicates to preserve and protect architectural heritage. The Salvage Barn hopes to preserve residential districts as well as educate public on the ways to save it. It also organizes educational events to teach people how to take care of the old home.
The Salvage Barn was kind of our last resort. It was what happens when you can't save a building. And some buildings are going to come down. We've even had salvage buildings that have been on fire before. You know, we saved the top floor was on fire, we got the bottom floor. We want to at least recycle what's usable because you can't get material this good anymore.
And the Salvage Barn takes all kinds of material which is 50 years or older.
A door can be a headboard. It doesn't have to be a door again. If it's a door, that's great. But if it's not, as long as it's getting used and not in the landfill, it's a good thing.
They have a small crew, 3 staff for the entire organization, and they work with volunteers for most of the time. A lot of they do depend on how long they have to do with the demolition, how many volunteers they have to spend on it, weather, and all other factors. They keep recycle until they have no space to recycle anymore. When talking about the big plan in the future,
Nailing some stairs in to do some extra space up there, so we'll have more. We'll be able to take in more salvage. We also opened a tool lending library about a year ago out of here.
Visitors can stop by the Environmental Education Center to view displays or attend classes and events to learn more about the recycling and waste reduction. Suen Wang, Daily Iowan TV.
Thanks, Suen. Now we'll toss it over to ethics and politics reporter Quentin Mashek, who is on set with the latest in politics.
Quentin, give us the latest.
Thanks, Mary. The 2014 midterm elections may be over, but political attention is already turning to 2016 and the race to the White House. Over the past year, several big-time Republican and Democratic leaders have visited Iowa's presidential stomping grounds, each one advocating for Iowa politicians. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie is one of Iowa's most visited national Republicans. He's a well-known friend of Iowa Governor Terry Branstad and is generally well received by New Jerseyans. A recent poll by the Des Moines Register and Bloomberg Politics placed Christie near the top of the GOP pack, but still well behind Mitt Romney. There's also Jeb Bush, the former Florida governor and brother to former President George W. Bush. This weekend, George Bush was on CBS's Face the Nation, where he said the likelihood of his brother running is 50-50. A number of polls haven't been as kind to Jeb Bush, as he has often trailed the Democratic frontrunner Hillary Rodham Clinton by double digits. He has still yet to visit Iowa this year, which has raised some red flags by political analysts and journalists about whether or not he's serious about running. Finally, there's Martin O'Malley, Maryland's guitar-slinging, tax-raising governor. He's visited Iowa several times in the last few months to campaign for Bruce Braley and to meet with University of Iowa Democrats. His biggest challenge appears to be competing with Hillary Clinton. In a recent Washington Post and University of Maryland poll, O'Malley trails Clinton by more than 60 percentage points. Still, he's devoted a lot of manpower and resources into Iowa and received good feedback from dozens of young voters when he stopped in Iowa City last month. His office has yet to say if or when he will return to Iowa. That's all the political happenings I've got for you now. Tanner, Mary, back to you.
A lot going on in Iowa sports as some teams enter postseason play, while others are just getting started.
That's right, Tanner. We'll hand it off to Whitney Blakemore now in the sports studio.
Thanks, guys. Women's basketball kicked off their 2014-2015 season with a win over St. Ambrose Sunday. But we start tonight with a team that's wrapping up their season. The Iowa soccer team fell in the Big Ten championship game against Wisconsin in a heartbreaking fashion. Daily Iowan TV sports reporter Taylor Brooks has the recap. Taylor?
It was an absolute heartbreaker this past weekend as the Iowa women's soccer team fell short of the Big Ten crown for their second season in a row. Going into double overtime with the #2 ranked Wisconsin Badgers, the team had their pride there, but it just wasn't enough. With the NCAA tournament right around the corner, somehow, in some way, the team hopes to get in despite the loss.
But Wisconsin's the best attacking team in the conference, and you saw it today. You know, we took some things away from them, and then they found others things.
Wisconsin's intimidating offense rose to the occasion Sunday as they took 24 shots, while Iowa's offense only took a quiet 6 shots.
I mean, they were exposing our width, which we knew we had to sacrifice some things just because of all the injuries and everything we have to do. So, I mean, we concentrated on the middle.
With the loss of first-team All-Big Ten defender Melanie Picker from an injury earlier in the week, the team still managed to adjust.
I think with Mel out, that it just made, we really took a big hit with an offensive attack with Emily Scott having to drop in there. And what a job she did, to have to do there. She didn't train there at all.
Despite the injuries and adversity, they finished the year with 14 wins, 8 losses, and a 1-tie record, something to still be extremely proud about.
The heart of these girls is just phenomenal, and I think all of them they want to play.
Taylor Brooks, Daily Iowan, TV Sports.
And adding to the bad news, the team found out earlier today that they will not receive an NCAA berth. Well, now to fill us in on how some other teams are performing, I'll hand things off to our Whip Around crew.
Hello and welcome back to our Monday evening Whip Around. I'm Taylor Mathis here at the Iowa Tennis Complex. Last week, freshman Josh Silverstein placed second in the Big Ten Singles and Doubles Championship. He recorded 3 straight victories over Michigan State's Michael Dube, but lost in the finals to Minnesota's Felix Corwin. Although this was the men's tennis last fall event, they will be competing in the Illinois 50K Challenge this week. Now I'll toss it over to Nicole Ray at Carver Hawkeye Arena. Nicole?
Thanks, Taylor. The Iowa volleyball team defeated number 12th ranked Purdue this weekend here at Carver Hawkeye Arena to mark the first win for the program against the Boilermakers since 2012. With a 3-1 victory, the Hawkeyes continued their Big Ten winning streak to 4 consecutive matches. The team competes next at Penn State this Wednesday at 6 p.m. I'll throw it over to Taylor Bartz at Grant Field. Taylor?
Thanks for that, Natalie. Iowa field hockey season has come to an end as the girls fell to the Northwestern Wildcats in the opening round of the Big Ten tournament on Wednesday. The Hawkeyes came up short in a 2-1 loss with senior Danny Hemian scoring the Hawkeyes' only goal. After their loss, the girls did not receive a bid to the NCAA tournament. The Hawkeyes ended their season with an overall record of 11-7 and ranked 15th in the nation. That'll do it for us here on this week's Whip Round. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks for that, ladies. Lisa Bluter's women's basketball team started their season downing St. Ambrose on Sunday. Daily Iowan TV sports reporter Laura Belanda was at the game and has the recap.
The Iowa women's basketball team kick-started their season yesterday in an exhibition game versus St. Ambrose University. In the first half, the Hawkeyes scored 64 points against the Bees, who scored just 30. Senior Melissa Dixon accounted for 16 of those first half points, while sophomore Allie Disterhoff had 13 and senior Bethany Doolittle put up a total of 11 points. Doolittle was also the leading scorer by the end of the second half with a total of 21 points. The Hawkeyes also played all 4 of their newest freshmen, including number 4, Chase Coley, who led the team in rebounds with a total of 12 by the end of the game. The final score was 119-57 with a Hawkeye domination over the Bees. With almost 4,000 people in attendance, the start of the season proved to create some excitement at Carver. And this particular game held some special meaning for Coach Lisa Bluter and point guard Sam Logic. Logic's younger sister Brett is starting point guard for St. Ambrose. Sam said playing against her sister is something she'll be able to look back on in the future.
I think later, with the pictures and things that we can talk about when we're older, telling our kids and, talking about it with our family, I think it's special for them too. I mean, my parents got to see, their 2 kids be announced at Carver and play on Carver in front of great fans.
Bluter started her coaching career at Ambrose and said she appreciated the opportunity to play the team.
Everybody knows how proud I am of St. Ambrose and the start that they afforded me. And, we love the program, we love the school, and we just wish nothing but the best for Krista and the St. Ambrose Bees.
This has been Laura Belanda with Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Bluter and company will be back in action this Friday to take on USC Upstate. Well, that will do it for me here in the sports studio. Tomorrow we'll highlight what Kirk Ferentz has to say in his weekly press conference following the painful team loss to Minnesota. Marion Tanner, back to you at the desk.
Well, that's all we have for you tonight. Be sure to check us out tomorrow, same time, same place.
I'm Mary Caldwell.
And I'm Tanner Sigworth.
From Daily Iowan TV
to the rest of Hawkeye Nation. Thanks for watching and good night.